Rod man. We are back again. This is the Fin Out of Water Football Podcast, aka the best podcast in the world. I got my brother from another Rod Man in the building, and I am your host with the most, B Herbo. Rod Man, we are back. It
Yes,
is
sir.
August 20th, Thursday. Probably the last Thursday show for the upcoming season. We are going to be moving permanently to Wednesdays, guys. So I know it's a lot of confusions. We're on Wednesday sometimes. We're on Thursday sometimes. Sometimes we don't show up because, we got jobs. And this is a hobby at the end of the day. But I am making the announcement now. The midday show during the season, because we are going to be doing 2 shows a week when the season officially kicks off. The midday show is going to be Wednesday, so just doing a little bit of house cleaning. But before we get to all the actual show, Rob, man, how you feeling, brother? We are getting real close, dog.
Listen, Herbie, this is like, you know what this feels like, man? As an adult, it's like Christmas morning, when you're anticipating opening up gifts as a kid. That's what preseason is right now, Herbie. I'm just anticipating. And here's the thing, I'm a Dolphin fan.
All right.
What am I anticipating, Herbie? What am I,
Your
like,
guess,
Herbie?
your guess is good as mine, dog.
Yeah,
Your
like,
guess is good as mine.
honestly, I understand that most of the fans like me are probably bracing themselves for impact, but you know what, Herbie? I'm just happy football's back.
I'm happy football's back too. So, because we do have a very loaded show, we could get right into it. So, a little rundown for today's show. We are going to be talking about the Miami Dolphins. Obviously, they did allegedly, and according to reports, have a little slip up in joint practice with the New York Giants today. So, we're going to recap that as well as go back to last week and talk about the things that we like from preseason week 1 and just compare and contrast. Also, we have to, give a eulogy to Tua Tagovailoa and the obviously end to his career that he is on a collision course with retirement, dog. So we're gonna go ahead and address that. We
Damn.
also wanted to talk about and have a discussion in regards to just the unfair expectations that have been levied or continue to be levied upon Lamar Jackson that seems to his peers seem to be impervious to. We also want to go ahead and talk about Shedeur Sanders and finish off the show with a conversation about why QB is the hardest position in sports, man. But you know how we do it, man. Before we get to all of that, let's get to this, man. Right off the top row, baby. Talking Dolphins, Rod. Let's get into it. I said it at the start, right? There was a joint training camp session with the New York Giants. Obviously, the Miami Dolphins are going to be playing the New York Giants as their week 2 preseason week 2 opponent.
Right.
But they say the Giants got the best of them Dolphins, dog. What's up with that, dog? What's up with that? Talk, talk about your fins, man. Talk about them.
Well, here's the thing, Herbie. One thing that really stands out when I was, looking up everything that happened in training camp today and really this past week, but especially today, Herbie. And it's funny because the older head Dolphin fans, the old school people, they don't like hearing about the fights. And I get it. These guys are supposed to be professionals. Despite how, aggressive a sport football is, you still expect guys to keep their composure. But, Herbie, I will say this. I was at least happy to hear that the Dolphins had some fight in them, right? Because from basically when I kind of put the sum of all the reports together, it seems like the Dolphins were being bullied, particularly the Dolphins offense against the Giants defense. And like, for example, Abdul Carter decided to swing at Patrick Paul, which kind of tells me that must have been a rep that he won, because why else would you do that, right? Because Patrick Paul is the type, he's a shit talker. He likes to get under people's skin. I like that. But Herbie, for the most part, based on what I was reading, a couple of footage I've seen, um, at the end of the day, man, the Dolphins' offensive line was struggling badly in pass protection, especially after Austin Jackson went out, because Austin Jackson, Herbie, he stole somebody, man. Like, Austin Jackson gave somebody a clean right, and they took him out. They took him out for a while, and then his punishment was rescinded because Caden Wallace got in the lineup, and they were getting destroyed by the likes of Abdul Carter and Shelby Harris and Brian Burns. So, I mean, Jesus, man, Malik Willis was sacked 7 times, right? So, but according to some of the trusted sources that I tune into, which many other Dolphins fans do. Malik Willis, at the very least, Herbie, looked impressive with the ball in his hands when he was trying to escape pressure and make things happen. But at the end of the day, there wasn't a lot of help going on with him, right? The Giants D line was shutting down our offensive line, so we weren't able to run as effectively. On play action, there was a bunch of times where free runners were coming at Malik. So, Herbie, the Dolphins have a lot of things to clean up. I'm not hitting the panic button because what am I panicking for? We all know that this is a transition year, a rebuilding year, and we're just trying to get a scope of what everything is that's going on. But for the most part, Herbie, I think the Dolphins could use something like this. Sometimes, Herbie, it's good to get punched in the mouth and to be reminded where you stand, right? Because now going into the season, you won't be shocked, you won't be surprised. So overall, though, I mean, it's just training camp at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's just training camp, right? And again, training camp is hard. Training camp is it's hard to gauge training camp because everybody is doing something different. Everybody are working on different things. You're working on fine tuning things. You might do something in training camp that you might never do in the actual season. It's data collection at the end of the day. So it's hard to know what and what not to put stock when it comes to training camp, right? So, and the reason why a lot of Dolphin fans seem disappointed in regards to the showing that the Dolphins had today is because of what such a positive showing that the guys had this past Friday, right? So I know we did our episode before the game, so we didn't ever got an actual chance to recap. But the there was a lot of positive momentum that the Miami Dolphins built coming off of weeks one, right?
Yep.
And you want to build upon the momentum. You want to stack wins together. But sometimes you stumble, man. It's cool, bruh. It's cool. It's cool. Training camp, I put no stock in training camp. I'm sorry. I misspoke. I put no stock in preseason. I use preseason to judge attributes. I use preseason to judge, all right, do these people look like they belong? Right. And that's why I want to go back to preseason week one because there's two things that I saw and two players in particular that I want to talk about. One is Caden Proctor. Two is Malik Willis. Short answer, we could talk for Caden Proctor. I don't know if you have any thoughts that you want to add on. But I went and watched all 22 cut up of Caden Proctor. He looks like he is a professional offensive lineman. That's all I needed to see. That's all I needed to see.
Right.
And the other guy that I wanted to see if he looks like he belongs, we've already seen it. He's been a professional football player for a couple years now, but he's going to be a true number one starting quarterback. And his name is Malik Willis, right? So let me go ahead and get this up right now. And I want to show the people who are in the chat right now what I saw and what is giving me optimism about this Miami Dolphins season, regardless of what happened today. This is Malik Willis. This is the game against the Commanders. And I saw something that I have not seen a Miami Dolphins quarterback do in 5 years, dog. Have arm strength, bruh. Look at this. Look at this, dog.
Huge.
Man, Tua would throw his back out trying to throw that pass, dog.
and the catch, bro. Shout out to Caleb Douglas, bro.
Shout out to Caleb Douglas. Look at the velocity. Look at the zip. Look at the fact that you have access to the entire field again. You have not had that from your quarterback position in at minimum 3 years, right? The entire field is open now.
Yep.
Look at that. Zip. I can hear it. That game was last week.
Bro, he has a cannon. He has a cannon.
Look at this. Your quarterback has mobility and is outrunning people? I haven't seen this in a Dolphin uniform in 5 years, dog. I haven't seen that in 5 years. That's all I care about, dog. That's all I care about. That's what I care about. I care about the position having such a drastic upgrade in talent. And we'll get to Tua in a moment or two because obviously that's the crux of this episode. But it is night and day, dog. I don't care how bad Malik Willis is. He's aesthetically pleasing. Tua was an eyesore, dog. He was an eyesore to watch. An eyesore.
Especially the last couple of years, man.
You guys have legitimate juice now. There's juice at the position. That's what I'm here for. Yes, it's going to be ups and downs in training camp. You're going to have ups and downs in joint practices, blah, blah, blah. How do you know your players are even completely engaged? Like, you could just like, I don't really care. It's training camp. I'm just trying not to get hurt, right? Like, don't worry about all that crap, dog. Worry about what's on the field. And what is on the field is you have a quarterback that has access to the entire field. And that hasn't been like this in South Florida in 5 years, dog. 5 years, Rod. Go ahead, Rod.
No, Herbie, I mean, to your point, and shout out to Rashad, man.
So, Shad, stick around. We got some talking to do about your team. Stick around, big dog. You're going to want to stay for this one, fam. But go on, Rod.
But you know what, Herbie, man? The one thing I love, like, listen, that preseason game to 7-up, Herbie, was the first drive was what fans wanted to see. The rest of the game was a wash because we realized, considering where we are as a team, we have absolutely zero depth. So, Herbie, if the Dolphins accrue any number of injuries, this team with already a low ceiling is going to be even lower, right? Yeah. Because we have nobody to pick up the slack behind the guys that we have. But what I can say is that the starter showed promise. There was a still that I saw on one of the passing plays, Herbie, where you have all the linemen blocking, and Malik Willis just has the entire, like, he has time to actually go through his reads.
To go through his progressions and stuff.
You know what I mean? And here's the thing, Herbie, there have been obvious improvements in some of the guys. Like Jonas Savaiinae on the right side has been much, much better than he was last year as a rookie on the left side, right? Like you alluded to earlier, Caden Proctor looks like he belongs already, right? And he hasn't even played real game reps yet. And Aaron Brewer is a beast. So, you know, it's really the tackles, Herbie, that we got to start thinking about. And today, guys, just to give it perspective, you're going up against a Giants D-line that is going to wreck a lot of offensive lines.
Think about this. They have Abdul Carter. They have Brian Burns. Brian Burns had 16 sacks last year, guys. Like, I get it.
Nasty.
They have a lot of talent on that D-line. And then I forgot the rookie, but the rookie is really good too. I can't remember his name, but they have a lot of athleticism and they have a lot of different ways to attack you. So the Giants are going to make a lot of people look crazy on the offensive line, right? So that's why I say let's not put too much stock in it. But hey, we here now. You know, we here now. Well, Shad, I already put it up, but I'm gonna put it up again because I didn't realize the animus that was in this comment, bro. So we're gonna put it up on the screen again, dog. In case I missed it, Tua does not belong. He had a drop, snap, and pick six in the joint practice. Today, I hate him. That's real. When a fan says I hate him, and he does it, he's not joking. Like, you know how we say, I hate that dude, but you really don't. No. Shad hates Tua Tagovailoa, dog.
Well, Herbie, he wasn't a fan of Tua when Tua was on my team. So imagine you get a guy that you already didn't care for. And you know what? This is one thing I can say about the Falcons fans, Herbie. Herbie, the Falcons
They don't deserve this. That's what you need to say. Forget Rod, whatever you got to say, they don't deserve this. That's what you need to say. No, the Falcons fans, bro, Falcons fans are loyal people, dog. They don't deserve this, man.
They're already done. The Falcons fans are already done. And I get it, Herbie. They only have $1 million invested in the guy. The Dolphins drafted him, with the 5th overall pick over a guy who ended up proving to be more talented than him. And then you also have the fact that we extended this motherfucker. So, Herbie, when I saw the first play that the Falcons had in preseason was a Tua snap fumble, Herbie. When that was the first, I had PTSD. Herbie, I was thinking to myself, like, oh my God, thank God. Like, Herbie, for a second, I was about to yell at the screen. I said, oh, wait.
He's not mine.
He's not my
problem. He's not my problem anymore.
For you guys in Atlanta, he is your problem now.
It's
tough.
Listen,
and mind you guys, listen, I don't throw stones and hide my hands. I was whatever you want to call a Tua near, a Tua. I rolled with my quarterback, Herbie. I did because he did
supported him.
He did have 1 year
you
where
you were never 2-0. You were never 2-0,
no.
But you supported him. You believed in him. You fought for him. There's people that unfairly criticized him. There's a lot of outside noise that didn't give him a fair shake, but you could, when it was undefensible or indefensible, you never defended it. You never defended the indefensible.
Never.
You never got to that point where you were delusional. I met several delusional people online. And again, I'm not on Twitter anymore, thank God. But when I was on Twitter, 2 and 9 was a real thing. These people were rabid in support of this dude. They treated this dude like he was a Make-A-Wish kid, dog. I promise you. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So I want to pull this up real quick, Rod. And this is a quote from Tua. He was on Sirius XM, and this is from the Finsider, guys. So this is a quote. Hold on. Let me go ahead and pull it up on my end. This is a quote from Tua right here. And it says on Tuesday, Tagovailoa joined Sirius XM and spoke about how difficult it was to end his time in Miami on such a sour note. And this is from Tua. I quote, "It's hard, you know. There's no other way to work around that. You could try to trick yourself into thinking it's not as hard as what you're thinking, but it's hard to go through something like that." So, Rod, what do you think is going on? And matter of fact, my bad. We need to get some imaging, dog. This time is for Rod the Wise. Rod the Wise. Can you psychoanalyze that quote, my brother?
Well, listen, Herbie. I think Tua had maybe one of the most precipitous falls that we have seen in quite some time for a high-profile name as a quarterback, right? Considering the legacy he had from Alabama, coming into the league, everything that was said about Brian Flores, and God damn it, Herbie, I hate the fact that the guy ended up being right. Just got to be honest. Flores ended up being right to a degree, not 100%, to a degree. Right, but
Rod, it's hard to not say 100% at this point, dog. Like, because it got to the point, because the reason why you have to say it's 100% right is because of the play and what it cost you.
Yeah,
he felt the way he felt about Tua is because he knew Tua was not somebody that was worth a $55 million contract. Ultimately,
he was not. No,
Brian Flores would have committed seppuku before he gave Tua Tagovailoa $250 million. He would have committed seppuku, dog. So with that in mind, you have to say he was 100% right, Rod.
He was 100% right. And here's the sad part, Herbie. A quote like this is the result of it, right? Like Tua, Herbie, I'm going to be honest with how I feel about Tua at this point in his career and where he's at. I think Tua, in the back of his mind, knows he's done. So he's not like most players. Listen, most of these players are somewhat in it for the money, right? You have to be in it for the money.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're doing it. But there's a lot of passion involved. And there was a time, Herbie, where Tua did love football. But right now, Tua just loves his. I just think Tua's done. I just think between the injuries, especially the hip and the concussions, you got to imagine, Herbie, this was a guy that was in MVP conversations his best season. And last year he was benched for a 7th round pick who looked god awful in preseason. One
terrible. Went 1 for 8. He got benched for a guy that went 1 for 8 in a preseason game, dog. Yikes, bro. Yikes.
And he did, and dude, in that preseason game, Herbie, Tua looked so unimpressive, man. And it makes the Falcons look like a team that doesn't. And now, granted, they didn't have all of their horses out there. You always got to put that into consideration. But Herbie, I think Tua has the yips, man. I mean, Shad said it. Like the guy threw a pick 6 in the joint practice. You're gonna see. Listen, if you guys start Tua threw 15 interceptions in 14 games last year. You guys are gonna see a lot of picks. I'm just throwing it on the front end.
Put it like this, dog. It's so bad, and I'm gonna highlight some of the comments from Shad. Right, you heard the boos at halftime. Who gets booed in preseason week 1, dog? That is I've never seen a fan base this done this early. Week 1, usually it's like week 4 of the regular season before you're like, bro, we're tired of this. People hold on. You can't beat the hope out of people that fast. This is a record. This is a record.
But here's the funny part, Herbie, and I know this is probably what really irks Falcons fans. They just had Kirk Cousins. And at the end of the day, Herbie, Kirk was also washed. But Kirk Cousins could push the ball down the fucking field, Herbie.
And Kirk was at the end of the day, Kirk was one of theirs. Whatever you want to say, at one point in time, Kirk became one of theirs. You feel me? He had the video where he was on the plane with all the ice on. He was in the press conference talking about when he quoted "Bankroll Fresh," and that is huge. You feel me? That he gained cultural currency. Walk
Right.
into your trap, take your trap. At the worst, he ingratiated himself enough that he bought himself time, and people knew that he wanted to be great for the Falcons. His body just gave up on him, right?
Right.
They don't
Right.
care none of that for Tua Tagovailoa, dog.
Right.
They don't care about none of that, bro. They booed him at halftime of week 1 of the preseason, dog. I've never seen a quarterback be, and again, he hasn't been there long enough for people to hate him. They just hate him off rip.
His reputation precedes him, Herbie.
His
That's what it
reputation
is.
precedes him so badly that they were done with him within a half, dog. That's our. Put it like this. I'm about to show everybody in the chat, everybody in that's watching. I've never seen this in my entire life watching football. The video that I'm about to show you. Rod, we talked about this in the pre-show. You never even seen this, right? This escaped your algorithm, bro. This is a video of Michael Penix absolutely destroying what credibility Tua has as a professional football player forever, dog. I've never seen this, bro. I've never seen a football player that's a quarterback go up right next to the other quarterback and just be like, yo, this your mans? This really your mans? Yo, this your...
No. No, bro. Penix really went up to 200 and pulled the whose man's is this, bro? How do you do that to a teammate, man? No.
He hit him with a whose man's is this, bro? I've never seen this. I've never seen this, Rod.
Oh,
He hit him with a
man.
whose man is this?
You
We're
want
gonna watch it again. We're gonna watch it again, bro. He hit him with a whose man's is this, bro? Right next to him. He didn't even have enough respect to pull niggas to the side, bro. He did it right next to him, bro. Like, yo, this your man? This him? Really?
Whose man's is this, man? Get him off. Get him off the field, man. Get him off.
Rod, you can't be this cook, dog. Like, look at this, man. This is bad, man. This is just bad. You can't, like,
Tua's cooked, man. And you know what, Herbie?
he's not a professional football. He's not a professional quarterback anymore, right?
Nah.
Like, that's just what it is. He's not a professional quarterback anymore.
And you know
He
what,
doesn't
Herbie?
make enough. Oh, go ahead. Say what you got to say.
Sorry to cut you off, and you know, I just gotta say this too, Herbie. I just find it ironic that he got all pissy with Mike McDaniel in the end. Listen, Mike McDaniel got the absolute best that he possibly could out of Tua and Greer. Because you know what? As much as I hated Greer as a GM, he put as much talent around that guy. Like, think about the team we had, Herbie, when Tua was here.
Man.
We had Tyreek Hill. We had Jalen Waddle. We had a game where our team put up 70 fucking points.
Mm-hmm.
That's the type of roster we had, Herbie. And we had put up 40-point games 2 other times that year. So it's just like, you had all this talent, bro. Yes, the offensive line had to shuffle here and there, but Herbie, that's everybody. No, at some point you're gonna deal with that. So you know what, Herbie? It's like, listen. I vouch for Tua. He took some ass kickings while he was here. He had some great games here and there, but ultimately, man, to see him now, especially like given how he was looking last year, Herbie, where it looked like he was a rookie again.
Yeah.
And he's looking the same in Atlanta. And Herbie, and Falcons fans, I feel real bad for Falcons fans because Kevin Stefanski. Good luck, guys.
Listen,
Good luck.
what I
guys.
was going to say is I don't see the point of the Falcons have no allegiance to this dude. He's making $1 million. They're only paying him $1 million. This is somebody who shouldn't even make it out of training camp. He should be cut this week. If his name was not Tua Tagovailoa, he would be cut.
Yep.
He would be cut. There's no, like, you're not paying him. The Dolphins are paying him. You only owe him $1 million. Like, you can't have him out there. Like, you can't. Like, if you put him out there with how mad and how angry your fan base already is, that's something that could lose a generation of Falcon fans, dog. People will leave and people won't come back. Like, ask Atlanta about how they feel about Dominique Wilkins. You know how long it took the Hawks to get fans back after they traded Dominique Wilkins? That fan base, that area, that culture has shown you that they are willing to leave. Now, it'll be way harder because the city of Atlanta loves their Falcons, But
Right.
you can't put this dude out there, dog. He's not a professional quarterback anymore. It's
Just
just
hey,
obvious.
Shaw just said it, man. Oh, and shout out to JPS and DeAndre.
Hey man, shout out to everybody, dog. Put it like this: Tyreek made Tua. We will see that this season, but wishing him the best. No, and that's the thing. We wish him the best. Hey, great contract. Great comment, DeAndre. Great comment. We wish him the best. We appreciate what he did for us down here, but it's not for long. That's what the NFL stands for, dog. Like it's 2026, bro. That chapter is done. He's out there for his professional pride. His body is doing something 180 to what his mind wants to do. He's at that point in his career. But you can't, like, this is embarrassing at this point, dog. Like, we got the jokes off. We had our laughs. But as I'm having this conversation, and as I'm watching him throw a pick six in preseason, dog, a pick six that was so obvious and so bad, the cornerback stopped running 20 yards before the end zone, dog. Nobody was around him. Nobody was even around him to tackle him, bro.
That boy could have done some push-ups, man, before he
Oh,
got
for real, dog. For real, man. But before we get up out of here, any last words? Because we running long on this segment.
Listen, man, sayonara Tua, and for the Falcons fans, y'all better hope Penix gets back way sooner than scheduled because if you guys, which it's looking like, get the Tua that we got last year, oh my God, you're in for an awful, abysmal season of football.
Nah, for sure. Facts. All right, so this is going to be something that we're going to do. Normally we call it a discussion, but we're trying new things, and this is going to be the first of them, bro. So, Rock, I have a declaration. I have something to say. I have something to get off my chest, bro. I am tired.
My boy.
I am so freaking tired of the – and again, we're not let me start over. This is not a podcast that does the white privilege, blah, blah, blah stuff, right? But when it's so obvious – and it's so painfully obvious that you have to invoke that word because people in the media don't give you any other choice. There is obvious double standards and there is obvious white privilege that certain quarterbacks get to benefit from that other quarterbacks do not get to benefit from at all. And I am talking about two quarterbacks in particular, and we're going to have an extended conversation about one of them. The two quarterbacks that I'm talking about right now are Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. You know I don't like Jalen Hurts. You know I can't stand that dude. So when I have to defend Jalen Hurts, it's outrageously bad what's going on. And the crux of this conversation is because there was an article by Fox Sports that came out, and it was the 15 players that are under the most pressure. And I just find this to be an objectively bad article that you cannot make. You cannot write. You cannot post. Ranking 15 NFL players under the most pressure in 2026. It's a lot of different position groups, but there's a couple of quarterbacks. And I want to talk about the quarterbacks that are on this list, Rod. Hold on. Where is he?
Justin Herbert.
Why is Tua in the top 10? Oh, my God. Jesus Christ.
That tells you this is embarrassing.
I think there's four or five quarterbacks. One is Justin Herbert, way down at 8. You got Bryce Young. You got C.J. Stroud. You have, and at number 2, Lamar Jackson. At number 1, Jalen Hurts. First of all, how is Jalen Hurts under the most pressure? Under what pressure? He's already a Super Bowl champion.
Bro.
What more does he have to do? And this is coming from somebody who despises him. But what more does he have to do, Rodney? He's number 1. He's the quarterback. He's the player with the most pressure in 2026. The guy who's went to 2 Super Bowls. The guy who's outplayed Patrick Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls. The guy that won a Super Bowl.
Dude, that's such a disrespectful take. And Herbie, you know, neither you or I, now, granted, you have the division thing going on with Jalen Hurts too. Just me personally, I think Jalen Hurts is a hit or miss quarterback. But he's a hit or miss quarterback who has proven that he can win the big one. So for you to insinuate, first of all, him being anywhere on this list, Herbie, whether it's 1 or 15, wouldn't have made no sense. But for you to put him as number 1 on the list when you have a Josh Allen that has not, and JPS, that's your boy, JPS.
And before you go on, I see a lot of the comments. Guys, we agree. All of these dudes should have pressure. Lamar Jackson obviously should have pressure.
Yes.
He's a 2-time Super Bowl. He's a 2-time league MVP. That alone, the issue is there's other people that should be on this list right with him, and they're nowhere to be seen. Chief among them, Josh Allen.
like Josh Allen, when it comes to these types of discussions, Herbie, at least to me, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are tied at the hip. These are two of the best quarterbacks of this generation, along with Mahomes. And Mahomes has done the winning. Hurts has already won. Sam Darnold, their draft classmate, has won. So you can't tell me Lamar is going to be high up on this list, and you're not going to have Josh Allen anywhere in sight. And you can even make the argument Joe Burrow belongs here too.
Rod, there's one white quarterback on this entire list. There's 6 quarterbacks. One of them is white. And again, and for all transparency, the 2 people that made this article is Eric Davis and Bucky Brooks, 2 black journalists, which makes it even worse. The privilege is so great that the black dudes wrote it and was like, yeah, we're going to put a whole bunch of black dudes on this. What? You cannot make this list and not have Joe Burrow on it. Joe Burrow has never won a league MVP. He's never been an all-pro. And he's not on this list. He doesn't have pressure. He doesn't have pressure to even make an all-pro team. There's no pressure. What you're saying is there's no pressure for Joe Burrow. There's no pressure for Josh Allen.
Unbelievable.
That doesn't make any sense. And the reason why it doesn't make any sense, especially in Lamar Jackson's case, is because I have a list. I went through a ranking, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on Lamar Jackson. You cannot, on one hand, say that there consistently, you cannot make list after list after list after list after list that says that Lamar Jackson is not the best quarterback. Lamar Jackson is not a top 4 quarterback. Lamar Jackson is not even in the top 10. And then on the other hand, say he has the most pressure. Why wouldn't the people that y'all think are better than him have more pressure than them? In what universe is somebody that you think is lesser deserve to have more pressure?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Him haven't won.
Sorry to cut you off, but I have these are the lists, and I'm going to name them by the publication and where they ranked him. The Athletic said that Lamar Jackson is a tier 2 quarterback. Sports Illustrated ranked him 4th coming into the season. ESPN ranked him 5th coming into the season. CBS Sports ranked him 5th coming into the season. Yahoo Sports ranked him 5th coming into the season. Bleacher Report ranked him 7th coming into the season, behind Drake May and Justin Herbert. Fox Sports had him at number 8. Colin Cowherd didn't even have him in the top 10, in his personal top 10. He is consistently not viewed as the best quarterback. He is consistently not viewed as a top 4 quarterback. And yet, people have more expectations for him when they don't think he's as good as other people who haven't won. You cannot make this argument for Lamar Jackson and not make it for Joe Burrow. You cannot make this argument for Lamar Jackson and not make it for Josh Allen. They want to baby these 2 other dudes and hold Lamar Jackson to the fire. What else could it be?
And to your point, JPS, he said that Lamar was under less pressure than he said Josh had less pressure. Bro, Josh should just be on this list. Like, where is he?
He has to be on this list.
Where? Like, I don't care if you put Lamar ahead of him. Fine, whatever. Where is he, bro? Where he belongs here? Out of anybody,
he has to be on this list. He has to be on this list. If you say he's the best football player in the sport, he has to be on this list. Heavy is the crown that wears it. Heavy is the crown. The crown comes with pressure. That's what makes it heavy. But he's not even on the list.
Nah, that doesn't make sense, man.
He's not even on the list. And again, there's only one reason. Guys, trust me, Rob, we've been doing this podcast for a long time. We don't really get into the racial stuff unless it's completely obvious. It's not something that we look towards. We're not running away from it. We never shy away from it. We stand on it, but we choose not to always talk about it because we don't want that to get in the way of everything that's great about this sport. But when it's so obvious and when it's so pathetic, you have to have the conversation. You cannot ignore an obvious bias. You cannot ignore an obvious privilege. Again, Josh Allen is a league MVP. League MVPs should have pressure to win a championship. He's not even on the list.
Blows my mind, bro.
The guy that is number one already went to the mountaintop and won the championship, and he's number one.
And here's the worst part. The reasoning is like, what? Oh, no A.J. Brown. We got to see what Bro, everybody knows what Jalen Hurts is. What do you mean no A.J. Brown? A.J. Brown doesn't matter. He already won. And he was one of the major factors in winning. Like, and you know what, Herbie? And listen, I'm not a Jalen Hurts fan. Obviously, neither of us are. But at the end of the day, I hate when people make this argument like, oh, like I said that he played with a great team because he did, Herbie, but there are other quarterbacks that play with great teams that have not won, right? We've seen Brock Purdy play with really awesome 49ers teams, and he didn't win. We saw Jared Goff with an awesome Detroit team. He didn't win. Like, Herbie, we see
Jared Goff don't got pressure. Brock Purdy don't got pressure. Not even on the list. You telling me Bryce Young got more pressure than Jared Goff? Really?
Stop it.
Really?
Stop. No.
So we'll leave on that note. Like the homie DeAndre said, read between the lines. Y'all can read between the lines. I mean, I can lead you to water, but I can't make you to drink it. It's getting bad. It's getting really bad. It was already disrespectful with the tier 2 list and the separation, basically saying, Lamar, you're good, but you're not good enough to be with these guys that we really hold in high esteem, even though you're more accomplished than them. And even though you've done more great things than them, apart from Patrick Mahomes. Like, there is this, it's just, again, it is unfair to Lamar Jackson to say he is not as good as these dudes and hold them to a higher standard than these dudes at the same time. That literally doesn't make sense. You cannot do that.
Está loco. The fuck out of here, man.
Ever since I've been popping my collar, facts. Facts, DeAndre, man. So we have another discussion that I want to talk about, man. So let's discuss, Rod. Let's discuss. We are seeing Shedeur Sanders, the media grave, start to die. And all jokes aside, I think that's a great thing. I think it's a great thing that the media is starting to realize that they can no longer guarantee or hold on to Shedeur for engagement and guarantee that he's going to bring traffic. He's going to bring clicks. He still is. It is still outsized, but it's not as outsized as it was last year, obviously, when it was at its complete height.
Yeah.
And you could see that they're trying to force conversations that just don't make any sense to be forced, right? So I have a video that I want to watch, and give me 1 second. Where is it? Right here. Share this tab. And this is a video that I want to go ahead and watch. Let me get this out the way. This is from Get Up? Yeah, Get Up on ESPN.
ESPN.
So, and here you go, right here, Rod.
Developing him like they're trying to make him the starter, like he's their guy going forward. And that puts him, to your point, he's not getting all the work. He's not getting all the reps. He's going to look like a young player because he's not being treated like a guy they're trying to develop. Interesting about the way this whole Shedeur Sanders thing is going.
So you heard what Mike Greenberg was talking about, right? They're talking about how they're not developing him, which is true. They're talking about how he's not getting all the reps that he should to really show what he's capable of. That's also true. But what you need to understand is they're trying to guide the conversation and change the conversation from what is actually happening. What's actually happening, guys, is they're treating Shedeur like he is, which is a 5th-round pick. When have they ever done this for any 5th-round quarterback?
Right.
When have they ever done this for any 5th-round quarterback? When is a fifth-round quarterback been somebody that they prioritize with picks, with developing, with day one reps, with team one reps. He is being treated like his draft position, which is a fifth-round quarterback. You can't guide this conversation. You can't steer this conversation. You can't force the Browns to do something that no other team has done in the history of the NFL, which is prioritize a first-round quarterback. The only reason that you're trying to do that is because you need him more than he needs you, and you desperately need the engagement that he continues to provide. But it's not at the same level. Like, you could go on YouTube right now and put Shedeur Sanders. It's the only people that make a video or content about Shedeur Sanders now are Browns fans pages and Browns podcasts, stuff like that. How it actually supposed to be. And Nightcap, because Nightcap just dick riders. But other than that, it's not Shedeur everywhere like you saw. ESPN understands what's happening. Their money train is about to come to an end.
And they're milking that cow, baby.
And they're going to try to squeeze every drop out of it. But again, you can't say they're not developing him like he's their guy, because he's not their guy. He's not. He's a fifth-round pick, and he's being treated like a fifth-round pick. If you think that he is being treated unfairly, then you have to go through the history of fifth-round picks and see if they were prioritized more than Shedeur Sanders was, they got more reps than Shedeur Sanders did, and they got to be the starter consistently. I don't know who's a fifth-round pick that fits that bill. The only one that I could think of was a sixth-round pick, and he was the fourth quarterback on the depth chart, and he had to beat out 3 other people. They had to make an exception for him because teams do not carry 4 quarterbacks going into the season. He was just that good that they could not afford him to leave their building. The person I'm talking about is Tom Brady. We know Shedeur Sanders is not Tom Brady. And I highly doubt that he will ever become as good as Tom Brady became. They are treating Shedeur Sanders like a fifth-round pick. But again, I'm not even talking about the Browns. I want to keep this conversation centered and focused on ESPN because ESPN understands what's going on, and now they are trying to twist and turn it like they are treating Shedeur Sanders other than how most fifth-round quarterbacks get treated, right? So how do you feel about what's going on right now?
Well, listen, Herbie, as always, they are doing just another shameless money grab. Right? Last season, the Shedeur money train was hot, right? The Shedeur parlays for ESPN and for the media was hitting because he was a popular name. There was all the controversy surrounding him and Stefanski. The drama was perfect for what social media is. But now, Herbie, the reality is starting to sink in. And now that the reality is sinking in, they're grasping at every single straw they can before it fizzles out. And it's unfortunate that Shedeur is the sacrifice of all this. But ultimately, Herbie, that's how the game has always gone. And will continue to go.
It's going to go like that. So I want to get to this comment for the homie Shad. I'm sorry the Browns have no credibility in quarterback identification or development. How many QB names are on the back of that jersey? Listen, since 1996, the Browns have had, 27 different starting quarterbacks? The Browns fumbled Baker Mayfield. This is not anything to do with the Browns. You will never hear me give the Browns credit. It's never gonna happen, Sean. I 1000% agree with you and everything that you said in that comment. The only thing that I am saying that is different is Shedeur is not being treated differently than how most fifth-round quarterbacks are treated. Is Shedeur in a good situation? Absolutely not. I said that last week. Is Shedeur in a place that is good for development of QBs? No. The Browns are historically, and this is not hyperbole. This is a fact. They are objectively the worst organization when it comes to quarterback development because they've had the most different starting quarterbacks since 1996. Almost 30 different starters. There's been a different QB almost every year since they came back.
That's absolute insanity, man.
The Green Bay Packers have had 4 quarterbacks since 1990. The 4. 4. They've had 4 quarter. Actually, no, 3. 3. They've had Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, and Jordan Love. 3 quarterbacks since 1990 or 1992 or whenever 1992. The Browns have had 27 since 1996. You will never ever hear me cape for the Cleveland Browns. That's not the point. But again, they are not doing anything differently. I have no idea how good Shedeur actually is. We're not going to know until he leaves the situation, and then we'll be able to compare and contrast. That is not the point. The point is that ESPN is trying to make it seem like the Browns are doing something different that is not the norm of most NFL teams, which is to not prioritize their 5th round pick. And it's just what it is.
And let's not forget too, Herbie, Watson still has to play out that contract. They're still paying that guy. So they still have to see whatever the hell they can salvage out of him. So
I'm sorry to cut you off. Rashad, I apologize. 42 different QBs have played for the Browns since 2000. I apologize. I was way off.
42?
I'm guessing like hurt and yeah, people that were hurt, like, stuff like that. I'm talking about going into the season as a starter. I think it's closer to 30 or something like that. But 42 is still ridiculous. Whatever the number is,
that's disgusting.
It's outrageous. But no, what you were saying, Rob? Finish your point.
No, man. What was I talking about?
You were talking about Deshaun Watson, how he has to. There's a lot of stuff.
Right. So at the end of the day, Herbie, people could talk about how unfair Shedeur's development is, but this is all a business, guys. At the end of the day, that never changes. And for the Browns, it is imperative for them to look at what they have, whatever's left of Deshaun Watson, and Shedeur will always take a back seat to that because he's expendable. Unfortunately, guys, he's a 5th round pick. People forget Dylan Gabriel was drafted before him, and he's an afterthought. He's an afterthought, Herbie.
Nobody's saying this about Dylan Gabriel, right?
You know what I mean?
Again, the reason why they're not having any of these conversations about Dylan Gabriel is because the point is not about it being about treating quarterbacks fairly. It's about ESPN doesn't want to lose their money train. If it was about development, they would have the same gripes for Dylan Gabriel, who's in the exact same situation. You can't say it's unfair to Shedeur and not also say it's not unfair to Dylan Gabriel. The only reason why you, a person, would say that is because you're not a fan of Dylan Gabriel. And then at that point, you're basically saying, I don't care about his development. His development is irrelevant. Then that means you don't care about development. You care about Shedeur. You're being a fan of Shedeur. Be fair. If you care about development, Dylan Gabriel should have the same grace as you're giving to Shedeur Sanders. Again, none of this is about QB development. None of this is about fairness. All of this is about a company who is seeing a cash cow fade away right before their eyes, and they're trying to hold on for dear life. And they're hugging and they're squeezing and they're trying, and it's not going to stick. We got maybe another year of this, and it's over.
Yeah, if that.
All right, man, last topic of the day, and it is a debate. And I'm going to say this on wax. Quarterback is the hardest position to play in sports, hands down. I don't think it's a close second. I don't think anything compares to playing the position of quarterback because of everything that is involved. Now, I will specify, it is not the hardest skill. It's not the hardest thing to do individually. The hardest thing to do in sports is hit a baseball. You could be in the Hall of Fame and hit 30%. You could be 30% and make the Hall of Fame.
Facts.
The most skill, in my opinion, the most skill it takes to play a sport is either boxing or hockey. Those two things require the most skill. But the hardest position is quarterback. And the reason why I say it's the hardest position is there's another video that went viral, dog. And it's this, right? So this is a point of view from Jalen Hurts, dog. And it is crazy. Like, look what these guys have to do in 2 seconds, Rod. Look at this. It's 2 seconds, bro. You have to read one side of the field, pretty much identify the defense, understand where you got, and boom, right there, make a decision. And mind you, he's doing this. Look how it looks from that point of view. Let me go ahead and mute that. Just get an idea of what what a quarterback is actually seeing from their point of view, what they have to do. And mind you, this is practice. He doesn't have to worry about people trying to kill him.
Right.
And it's already hard, bro.
Right. They're not scheming like anything crazy, having to figure things out. He has to make an accurate pass in the bucket, drop it in between two defenders. Woo.
To a moving target and be like you said, be accurate. Like this point of view, I hope people could watch this and realize how much better people are at this stuff than you are. You bum ass armchair quarterbacks that I hate. Man, I got injured in high school. I would have been great if I didn't get injured in high school. Bum ass motherfuckers, dog, that I hate. Like these guys they get paid millions of dollars to do this because they're good at it. This is 2-3 seconds, dog. And again, he's not in fear of getting hit. It is that hard to do. This is the easiest that will ever be for him because he doesn't have to worry about somebody trying to kill him while he's doing this. Like, how can you tell me that there is a position that is harder to play than quarterback, dog? There's not 32 good quarterbacks in the NFL right now. We can't find 32 people on the planet to do this job, dog.
That's facts, bro.
There is 7 billion people on the planet. We can't find 32 good ones to do this job, bro.
That tells you everything you need to know right there.
That tells you everything you need to know. Even if you want to take the global population, because obviously the rest of the world doesn't play football, American football. There's 360 million people in the United States, bro. We can't find 32 good starting quarterbacks out of 360 million people. That's how hard this job is, dog. That's how hard this job is, bro. So I'm not entertaining no conversation that says this is not the hardest position in sports, bro. I'm not entertaining it, dog. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not entertaining it, my boy. I ain't going for it. Richard Jefferson, whatever. You could cry about your sport, whatever. Whoever got smoked for me, I'm not going, bro.
Here's the thing. Everybody, it's funny because everybody's gonna feel like their sport's the hardest to play, like whether it's a soccer player or a basketball player or a fighter or, everybody thinks what they do is the hardest. But if you're looking at it from an outside viewpoint, you can kind of see where it's like, what is the most realistic outcome?
Again, okay, this is what I'm sorry to cut you off, but I got to get to this. You could find 32 Connor McDavid or John Jones. I could find 32 people to do the same thing as them. Regardless of, now, they might be significantly better at it, but a hockey player they're all doing mostly the same thing. Justin Jefferson is not doing what Jamar Chase is. I mean, Justin Jefferson is not doing what Kyler Murray does. It's a completely different position. There is no interchangeable parts on a football field. Connor McDavid is just exceptionally better than everybody else who is doing the same thing as him. But they're all doing the same thing. Jamar Chase cannot do what Joe Burrow does. That's the difference. That's why I think people get it confused. Again, I said hockey requires the most skill, but it's not the hardest position in sports.
Right, you're just talking about position, literally just your job compared to everybody else's job, especially in what you do.
Especially in what you do. Again, basketball players. Basketball players are mostly doing the same thing. Varying degrees, but they're mostly doing the same thing. Dribble, pass, score. Put the ball in the hoop. All 5 positions could do that. Some might be bad at it. Some might be good at it. Evan Mobley could do what Steph Curry does. Not to Steph Curry's level, but he could dribble. He could do all that crap. All that same. They're doing the same things to varying degrees. Vita Vea is never going to do what Baker Mayfield could do, bro. It's never happening, dog. Vita Vea can't do what Baker Mayfield could do. The only people that could do what Baker Mayfield could do is another professional quarterback. That's it. That's it. So, yes, it's the hardest position to play because it is such a unique position. Nobody else but the quarterback of a team or somebody who was good enough to be drafted as a quarterback could do what a quarterback can do. So that's just how I feel. And again, we got the hockey guy started up. My bad. I should have known that hockey guy was gonna get cranked up. So we can leave on that note, man. But Rob, man, excellent episode, great episode, my boy.
Yes,
Any last
sir.
words before we get up out of here, dog?
Listen, man, guys, the countdown has already begun, man. Week 1 is just a couple of weeks away. And you guys, I can't wait for that first Sunday of football.
I can't wait, man. I'm finna be in somebody bar. I'm finna be in somebody bar going stupid. But man, let's get up out of here, man. Everybody, man, see y'all next Wednesday.